So I've just created 3 documents in under 10 minutes, and I actually didn't end up typing much. The app we are taking a look at today is called Gamma. It's talked about quite a lot, and I want to show you 3 ways that you can use it right away. I also want to dive into the pricing and share a cheeky discount if it's available to you in the link in the description. Gamma's not only into presentations, it does social media, documents, and more, and we're going to dive into it in today's video. The sponsor today is Granola. This is my go-to meeting tool. Check it out in the link in the description to get 3 months free. So here we are with Gamma, and you can get started for free. Now on the free plan, you can see here you get 400 credits on sign up, which is 10 cards per prompt. In this demonstration today, I was on the free plan and I ended up only spending 30 to 40% of my entire allowance. There's also the Plus plan, the Pro plan, and the Ultra plan. This is much more for those who are using it internally in companies and want to be able to potentially create maybe 10 documents a month. So the simple idea is AI does the heavy lifting in terms of the design, layout, and structure of your presentations, documents, web pages, and more. You have one workspace where you can then design stuff out from there and use prompts to create new documents from context. Okay, so let's open up Gamma here. So the first thing I'm going to do when I open up Gamma is I want to create a presentation of about 10 slides. It's an investor pitch deck for a new idea I've had called Chunk. And I'm actually going to, instead of using a prompt, I'm going to go ahead and import the PDF, the docx that I've got on this that has all of my random notes, and I'm going to go ahead and press continue here. So it's going to create a prompt editor here. Now this is basically your overview of what it should look like. So everything from card by card breakdowns, additional instructions. I'm just going to paste in here a deeper prompt, and you can modify things like the art style and even where the images are sourced, what model it uses. And I can even change things like the layout as well, and narrow down the amount of text on the screen. So as you can see, it's quite out of the box in terms of what you get. And then I'm going to go ahead and generate. Now you can see down in the bottom corner, I had cards available to me, but I also had the credits which are associated with your account. Now, as you can see, if you keep this page open, it's going to start creating that presentation for you. But this is where it gets a little bit more magic. Once you have generated, when that's all generated, what you can do is actually go and modify it yourself. So on this right hand side, you can see here, I can quickly drag in different elements. So it means I could refine and improve it, whether that's adding an interactive video or maybe even just improving the prompt specifically on stuff, which I'll show you in a moment. But you can see quite a range of like smart diagrams that you can bring in as well. So I'm going to go ahead and press present here. You can see it comes up as a web page. It is great for being able to send on to people, so I can share that link if I find relevant. But if I see something I want to refine, I don't necessarily have to go through each of the pages. So for example, in this case, I have noticed that on this particular page, I could go in and edit this myself, but if you're noticing lots of problems like, oh, the human editor takes 3 to 4 hours, I can actually go ahead and type into the agent on the side to go and modify that specific page or more pages that has mentioned that multiple times across the card. So this is the Gamma workspace. This is where you're basically going to see all the things that you've created in your account. And for my second example, I want to go ahead and create a document, but I'm going to go ahead and import a PDF of some messy notes I have about this. This is more of a product synchronization meeting that I had, and it comes up with the same prompt editor here. So this is how to go ahead and refine the document side of stuff, and I can even add additional instructions on the side. Now documents are very similar, like you can see, to the way that the cards are created inside of Gamma, which means that it sort of in a way looks like a presentation, but it's more of a linear PDF which you can export, and you can also refine the cards down. So for example, I'm going to show you how this could be helpful here. So I want to make this particular slide, page 8, I want to just make it slightly more visual. So I'm going to ask it, can we add some pictures in here too? And as you can see, it's modified that information, which is absolutely great. So you can see how easy it is to interact with it. Which brings me on to my third example. I can go ahead and press generate website, and I'm going to go ahead and press 2 cards. Now here's the prompt that I created earlier with create one marketing website for Chunk. And I'm going to go ahead and generate that. Now you can see when you get started, you can go ahead and continue to refine the cards as well. And I notice that the website version, as I'm doing it here, is taking a little bit longer than what the other ones are creating. So for this, once it's actually generated, I can go ahead and modify the images that are actually in here. So I can ask the agent something like, remove this image and replace it with a floating iPhone. Let's just put with social media apps open. And you can see that I am able to get a better refinement on that. But you can see I can still do stuff that's more global. So for example, I'm going to say, make all of the buttons on the site red, and it's going to do a global change. Now I'm going to go ahead and quickly preview this in mobile and tablet and desktop. And you can see that there's obviously some different changes to how it looks on those different devices. So I can go ahead and press publish on this one if I want to, which means I can share it, I can preview it. But I think the missing source in all of these demonstrations that I've showed you is that you can use something called theme. Now, a theme is like, you can create a theme and it will go off your hex codes or color ratios. And basically when you go ahead and create a new one, whether that's the font, the colors or anything, will correlate to that. So that is incredibly helpful for just churning those out. So in this video, we created a presentation. We also looked at creating a document and a website, and all basing it off of information that we have that was context. It was pretty easy to do and good for getting started. It's probably going to take you much more work to get the final version of it out, but the best thing to have is the context prepared, the themes created, and an idea of what you want for each thing. The more time you spend on that, the better your production is going to be through this application. So you can get Gamma and the best deal to it linked in the description below if you're interested. Thanks to Granola for sponsoring today's video. You can find that meeting tool linked below. I love it as my choice of meeting tool. So check it out in the link in the description. And if you tried Gamma, comment below, share a little bit more. Thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.